City Council, December 12th, 2016, regular meeting to order. And we will begin with an invocation from Elder Paul Roloff of the Christ Lutheran Church. Please stand.
Thank you. Before I start, I'd like you to see I've decorated for Christmas, but I don't want you to be confused. I'm not pushing commercialism. If you notice the ribbon and you read the tag, it says, "To mankind, love God." So that's what Christmas is about. And since this is the Christmas season, let's pray. Dear Lord God, gracious Heavenly Father, we thank you for all the blessings you shower on us. We especially thank you that you love us so much, each one individually, that you asked your Son to come into this world for the purpose of dying. And dear Lord Jesus, we thank you so much that you loved us enough to come into this world, be born of a woman, live a perfect sinless life in our place, go to the cross, shed your blood for us, so that we can be with you in eternity. Not only that, but you guaranteed it when you rose that first Easter morning. And dear Holy Spirit, we thank you that you wrote this all down in your love letter to us that we call the Bible, so that we can know of your great love for us. And because of that great love for us, we can come to you and ask things with confidence. And so tonight we ask that you would protect all of those that protect us, the police, the firemen, the first responders, all branches of our military, anyone who works in a hospital, anyone who works in a doctor's office. We ask your blessing, your wisdom, and your guidance to them. And now we ask your blessing on these fine people in front of us, and those of you in back that have come to see what goes on. We would ask that all we do and all we say is pleasing to you, and we ask this in Christ's name. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Norma, would you call the roll, please?
Councilmember Jimmy Walker.
Here.
Councilmember Steve Hudson.
Here.
Councilmember Rob Huddleston.
Here.
Mayor John Thompson.
Here.
Vice Mayor Jackie Henry.
Here.
Councilmember Gary Lewis.
Present.
And Councilmember Tatiana Murrieta.
Here.
Thank you.
Okay, we're all here. Before we get started, I'd like to welcome Jimmy Walker aboard.
Thank you.
Look forward to working with you.
Thank you.
Under presentations, item number 4. If you guys, if the council doesn't mind, this is going to be retirement recognition for former finance director Lisa Pinella from the city of Coolidge. We're going to go down and present this. Lisa, is she here? Yep. There she is. She's hiding.
Yeah.
I just wanted to, there was a little celebration for those that weren't here earlier. I wanted to say that 37 years of public service, 23 of which were in Coolidge. You were there for the good times and the bad. I want to personally thank you for everything you did for me, especially when I needed the information
doesn't come, the more to do. He never comes.
Right, yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Oh, is that her?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll move on to item number 5, presentation by Miss Michelle Irvin on the Amazing Race fundraiser Relay for Life. Michelle. I know for a fact you're not Michelle.
Nope, she's with us though. Come on over. You too. Hi, Danny Richardson with the Relay for Life United Front of Coolidge and Florence. We wanted to talk to you tonight a little bit about American Cancer Society and Relay for Life and what we do. For those of you that don't know, she's a chicken. For those of you that don't know, American Cancer Society, they're dedicated to funding research and raising awareness to fund the cure for cancer. 14.5 million people in this country right now have some type of history with cancer. They're expected 1.6 million new diagnoses in this country in 2016. So we spend the year trying to raise money for research, education, for the American Cancer Society, all accumulating into one big event, which this year is April 21st, 2017, at Larry Delbridge Stadium at 6 p.m. It starts and goes until 6 a.m. the next morning. During this event, we walk to remember those that we've lost. We walk to honor those that are battling cancer currently and are survivors. We also have a dinner to honor survivors. It's free of charge to them. We feed them. We honor them. We typically have some type of gift for them. And if you know anybody, we're always looking for new survivors to come and enjoy our event. The biggest reason we're here tonight is Michelle would like to talk to you about an event we have coming up that's going to further our fundraising and also be a lot of fun for us.
So the Amazing Race is a fundraiser whose primary purpose is that this is the first year that Coolidge and Florence are one relay. Previously they've been two, they were separated, and because of financial concerns through American Cancer Society, they were combined. And so our team combined with the Florence team, and one of our members came up with the name United Front, which we really love. And so the Amazing Race is about bringing the two communities together. The Amazing Race is going to start at the Elks Lodge on the 28th of January. It's going to start with a pancake breakfast kickoff, and then each team is going to be given a clue to go to a business where they'll get the next clue and the next clue and the next clue. I have to tell you that I'm so grateful and impressed with the businesses in our community. So far they've donated $500, over 100 canned food items, a staycation to be raffled off for our event. Another person donated a case of wine. So the reason we wanted to talk to you about it is because we've had such great feedback from our businesses, both in Coolidge and Florence, and actually 15 businesses have agreed to participate. So the next step of our process is to get teams. So we met with Tatiana a few weeks ago, and we talked about how can we get teams together, and one of the things she helped us to do is to make student teams $30 a piece to participate. So the standing is it's $50 for a two-man team. One of them has to be able to drive. And the thing that you need most is a smartphone and an automobile and a sense of adventure. So it's going to be starting about 10 o'clock, and like I said, we'll have a pancake breakfast, go to all those businesses, and there'll be prizes along the way. All the businesses are giving out things, bling or water or trophies or whatever. There'll be a prize along the way, and then at the end, we'll have a picture presentation of everybody along the race, and you'll win a trophy if you come in first, and bragging rights for a whole year. We really hope that this is successful enough that we can do it year after year. So right now, today, we have 6 teams signed up and committed to participating. Our goal is to have 50 teams, and we think that that's a doable goal for the first year, and we'd like to double that next year. So we're hoping that everybody will support us, and we have businesses in Coolidge and Florence that are can't participate because they have to be at work that day, but they're sponsoring teams, so they've given us $50 to sponsor teams that maybe don't have the money to join but want to participate. So we'd invite you all to participate. It's a great way to learn about Coolidge and Florence history. All the questions have to do with Florence and Coolidge history. I'll give you an example of one of the questions. Are you ready? So Wayne Crow was a professional football player. Wayne Crow. He played for the Buffalo Bills and the Oakland Raiders. He was born in Coolidge, Arizona. So if you take the 3 numbers that represent the date of his birth, add those 3 numbers together, and then go to West School and go look at how many swings are at West School facing Wilson Avenue, subtract that number from the number you got by adding Wayne Crow's birthday numbers together, and if you go to that address on South Arizona Boulevard, a person will be there, a site ambassador from Relay for Life will be there to give you your next clue and maybe a prize. So that's a sample of what the questions will be like, and we would love it. We have a email address, www.amazingraceunitedfront.com. So if you guys could support our race, that would be really great, and we really appreciate it. Do you have questions?
Those are pretty hard questions for us.
That's why you need a smartphone.
Yeah, you need
Yeah,
a smartphone.
yeah, the
Yeah,
smartphone.
Siri.
Yeah, the smartphone and the GPS is going to be your helper. Yeah,
Certainly, we'll support you however we can.
great.
I'd just like to say quickly, guys, looking at the faces in this room, almost everybody in this room has been involved in Relay for Life some way, or if not, has approached me in the last year and said that they want to be involved, and I just want to thank everybody for that support. It's amazing. We're a volunteer-driven organization, and we couldn't do it without your help, so thank you very much.
Thank you for your time tonight. We appreciate being able to present this to you. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
I think you guys need the thanks.
Okay. Item number 6, monthly report and business spotlight recognitions by the Coolidge Chamber of Commerce. Good evening, Lynn.
Good evening, Mayor, Council, and Mr. Walker. It's really good to see you here tonight.
Thank you.
Well, it gives me great pleasure and to introduce Walmart as our sponsor for the month of October. Or no, I'm sorry, December. Time has flown by. Dwayne Morrison has been very active in our community and has been a very great partner in a lot of activities we do. He's been a manager for 3 years here at the Coolidge store and 14 years with Walmart.
Good evening, thank you. I'd just like to say it's a great honor to receive this award, and really it's more of an honor to be in this community here. Really, I chose to come to Coolidge here out of all the locations in the valley here. I came from the valley here, and I can tell you there's just been so many great experiences here. You know, some of the fundraisers that we do as a company, both for the community and both for the valley here, I've never seen such a giving community like this has been. We've actually set records in our community giving from just our store, competing with some of the larger Walmarts in the valley here too. So I really got to say it's more of an honor for me than anything else here, because just knowing the people, talking to the folks, and just really having this great feeling every day that you're part of something that's real, that you don't really experience too often. So again, it's more of an honor for me than anything else, and I'm really kind of taken back, something I didn't expect, and I just want to sincerely say thank you to everyone, and thank you for making me feel part of the community myself.
Well, I wanted to personally thank Dwayne. I've been in the store a number of times, and he's always in there. He's always willing to help, and he's done a great job. He's turned that store around. That store's a moneymaker now. So, thank you for being here.
That's the one thing I find that customer service in there is just phenomenal anymore since Dwayne's taken over. Okay, on to chamber reinvestments for October. Dreamline Motors, Wine Mill Winery, Henry Brown Automotive Group, Sun Life Family Health Center, Coolidge Cleaners, TP Contractors. New members for October are Vivid Smart Home, that's home security. Statistics for October are our website hits are up to 262,284 for the current year. Walk-ins are down a little bit at 699. Phone calls, they're up at 511. We had one relocation packet, went to South Africa. That was like $14 to send that packet. But it was interesting, the interest we have from there. Top states that visit us, Wisconsin. Top foreign countries, Germany and Canada. Number of visitors in October for the Casa Grande Ruins, 4,568. Year to date is 64,117. I'd like you to visit our website for up-to-date events. But the one thing I want to really stress that we're at our luncheon, we have Kevin Fort. He's going to really discuss the new regulations on hiring and the wage increase and all that. I think it's an important issue for our businesses. Any questions?
When is the luncheon then?
It would be the 21st, and it's going to be at the Artisan Village.
All right. Thank you. Anybody have any questions? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Item number 7, a proclamation about Arbor Day, Tree City, USA. I will read the proclamation. Whereas trees are one of the primary quality of life factors that a city government can provide for its citizens, and whereas trees are a delight to everybody, those who grow them and those who simply look on and enjoy their beauty, and whereas our community trees must be perpetuated to provide the benefits of aesthetics, shade, energy conservation, noise reduction, and community livability, and whereas our forefathers who settled in the desert had the foresight and courage to plant the trees we now enjoy, and whereas the climate and special beauty of the desert Southwest are valuable resources enjoyed by many and should be taken care of for the sake of our children and our children's children, and whereas the city of Coolidge has been designated as a Tree City, USA by the National Arbor Foundation for our commitment to improving the urban forestry program in our community. Now, therefore, be it resolved that I, John Thompson, Mayor of the City of Coolidge, hereby proclaim Friday, April 28th, 2017, as Arbor Day in the City of Coolidge, and encourage all citizens to participate in this celebration and realize its importance. And I just wanted to, how many years has it been? I know Bob Flatley started it quite a while back, and we've been doing it ever since, and Director LaPaglia and I planted a tree not that long ago. Six? It's been longer than
14.
6.
14
Okay, I was
years.
gonna
14
say.
years. He told me that earlier, but I couldn't remember. 14 years.
No, okay. All right. Now I'm going to move into call of the public. This is a portion of the meeting where anybody in the public, in the audience, if they have a need to come and address the council, they step up to the podium and give your name and your residence address, and we will listen for 3 to 5 minutes on what you have to say. We can't respond on the advice of our attorney, but we will certainly have the staff look into any issues that you bring that are to this council. Is there anybody wanting to address the council and call the public? Okay, not seeing anybody approach, I will move out of call to the public and into approval of minutes, discussion and action. Item 8, City Council regular meeting, November 14th, 2016. Item 9, City Council study session, November 28th, 2016. Item 10, City Council special meeting, November 28th, 2016. And item 11, City Council regular meeting, November 28th, 2016. Is there anyone here that wants to speak to the minutes or needs any corrections? Not?
Mayor, if there's no further questions or issues with items 8, 9, 10, 11, I motion to approve all items.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Business items for consent.
Before I read these items, I'm going to ask if anybody wants any items on the council, wants any of the items pulled off of there before I read them. Not seeing or hearing any, I will read them. Item 12. Consider approval of the following street closures. Central Avenue between 4th Street and Main Street, 4th Street between Central Avenue and Elm Avenue, Elm Avenue between 4th Street and Main Street, and Main Street between Central Avenue and Elm Avenue for the Martin Luther King Day March scheduled to be held on January 16th, 2017 at 10 a.m. Item 13. Consider approval of reappointing Larry Gallagher, Rod Gibson, and Brenda Mitchell to serve on the Library Advisory Board for 2-year terms. Item 14. Consider approval of change of order 3 for construction of the Palo Verde Sidewalk Project, and then that's Arizona Avenue to 4th Street. Item 15, consider approval of purchasing 1 Xerox Charlie 60 copier from Arizona Office Technologies in the amount of $15,787.42 for the Transit Department. Item 16, consider approval of entering into a marketing license agreement between the City of Coolidge and Utility Services Partners, Private Label, Inc., DBA, Service Line Warranties of America, for the purpose of implementing the National League of Cities Service Line Warranty Program for residential property owners in the City of Coolidge. Item 17, consider approval of entering into Second Amendment to the Professional Services Agreement, PSA, with AMEC Environmental and Infrastructure, Inc., to reflect the name change of consultant AMC Foster Wheeler Environment and Infrastructure, Inc. Item 18, consider approval of the claims for the month of November 2016. There's nothing on there, so do I have a motion?
Mayor, with no further discussion, I make a motion we approve item agenda consent items 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18 as read.
Second.
Choose your second, Norma. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Business regular items, item 19. Consider approval to appoint council member to serve as city's vice mayor for a 2-year term. Okay, I guess, Mr. Fitzgibbons, what we usually do, I suppose, is we ask for nominations from the council.
Yes, Mr. Mayor. Usually you ask for nominations, someone's nominated, and then we wait for a second. And I think once you have a second, we'll vote on that person.
I'd like to make a motion to nominate Steve Hudson, Vice Mayor.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, there's a motion and a second for Steve. Is there anybody else?
I would like to nominate Jackie.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Okay, there's a motion and a second for Jackie. Is there anybody else? Okay. Then I suppose, do we go around on Steve and see if there's enough votes, or do we ask?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I think I would do that first.
Right? In that case, how many people on the council are going to vote for Steve Hudson for vice mayor? Raise your hands, I guess. Okay, there's 3 there. And I guess I should have stated before we voted, that I've talked to you about numbers regarding the code regarding the city council. As far as what the code says about the vice mayor position.
Yes, Mr. Mayor. The code simply says that the council shall select the vice mayor. The council shall designate one of its members as vice mayor who shall serve at the pleasure of the council. The vice mayor shall perform the duties of the mayor during his absence or disability.
Okay, and before I call for the, well, Steve got 3 votes.
Exactly, and I think you also had a motion and second for the vice mayor, Jackie Henry, so I think I'd call that vote now too.
Okay, then I guess I'd call for that vote now.
looks like Jackie's going to be the vice mayor. I don't know that I would necessarily, I would want to move on, but I think both of the nominees will be excellent vice mayors. Since I've been on here as a council member, as a vice mayor, and a mayor. And things have really evolved, and I can tell you that both of these individuals are very well qualified. My vote was based on availability, because I can tell you, when I got up today, I had 4 meetings the whole week, and then I added 4 before noon. So it's really difficult. And if I drop dead next week, we need somebody that's available. So that was my determining factor. I think both of them could do it. And I also think in the future, we need to take a look at something that maybe Maricopa or Casa Grande do in the way they do theirs. I know one of them elects a vice mayor every year. And that way people get a chance to gain experience, and I think that would be...
Right. I know Casa Grande automatically rotates their vice mayor. My understanding is City of Phoenix does it too, that it's a 1-year term, but City of Phoenix votes, I guess. I think Maricopa is evaluating how they want to go, whether to rotate or just vote at every year for a new vice mayor, or who to serve as vice mayor.
You know, and I think to have a well-rounded council, that might be something that, you know, at times we might want to consider. But I do know that there's a lot of things, and when I was working full-time, there wasn't as much going on, and I probably wasn't aware of as many things as I am now, and I just think that it's very difficult when you have a job, a full-time job, to get to everything you need to get to. But it's not impossible, but right now we'll do what we did. We voted. Let's move on to, which one are we on? Number 20. Resolution number 16-30, a resolution of the mayor and the city council of the city of Coolidge, Arizona, adopting a major amendment to the 2025 general plan for the city of Coolidge, Arizona, to change portions of the circulation element of the 2025 plan by changing the preferred north-south freeway alignment, changing the preferred locations of 2 interchanges, and adding an additional interchange dedicated exclusively to the inland port traffic. Mr. Lopez, welcome.
Good evening, Mayor, Mayor Thompson, Vice Mayor Henry, and council members that be here. Thank you, Mayor. On this item, this is actually all this does is moves the alignment slightly to the east on the area that's the inland port. And this is something you've seen before. It came before you. Have the maps in front of you. The Planning and Zoning Commission actually heard this item on October 5th and recommended approval by the mayor and council. So this actually moves one of the Shed Road interchange a little bit to the south, and then it actually adds an exclusive interchange on the Eureka alignment that's strictly for the inland port. So this actually benefits the inland port and moves it a little bit to the east, so it's not cutting the property in half. So that's pretty much the gist of it. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer those.
Are there any questions?
Motion to approve 20. It's a resolution.
Yeah, is there a second? Okay, there's a motion and a second. Norma?
Councilmember Lewis?
Yes.
Councilmember Murieta?
Yes.
Councilmember Walker?
Yes.
Councilmember Hudson?
Yes.
Councilmember Huddleston?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Henry?
Yes.
And Mayor Thompson?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Item number 21, resolution number 16-31, a resolution of the mayor and city council of the city of Coolidge, Arizona, abandoning without compensation, subject to reservation of a public utility easement, portions of an alley lying west and contiguous to the western boundary of Lot 21, Block 27 of the Jones Addition to the Coolidge, according to the maps, to the records of the county recorder, Pinal County, Arizona, recorded in Book 3 Maps, page 28. Gilbert?
Mayor, Vice Mayor, council members, recently had a petition to have the alley right-of-way separating 2 vehicle lots to the north of Pinkley Avenue abandoned by Garrett Motors. They recently purchased the property where there's a yellow house that's right next to that alley, and the benefit to the city is he's going to tear that down. He bought the property to tear it down. It's blighted, so that prevents or actually helps us get rid of a blighted structure. So he's tearing that down at a cost of about $40,000 of his money. And then in our case, we're gonna be able to still access the alleyway. And we've done this before on the opposite side of the street years ago, and it's worked out fine. You'll still have access to the utilities and everything else, and it benefits the city by removing blight, and the alley's still accessible for utilities. So I'll answer any questions you may have. Thank you.
This is just, Gilbert, this is just from the 400 block of Pinkley north to where the alley T is, right? It's not,
Yes, sir.
so you
Mayor
still have access from Pinkley or from Pima and then from 4th Street.
Mayor Thompson, Councilmember Walker, that's correct. It's still there's still access to the alley. It just comes down from Pima, I believe, and then goes out to the other street in an L shape. But there's still alley access for the trash trucks and everything else, so it doesn't stop anything.
I know that we closed the streets for, the alley for Garrett's previously. However, I do recall, I believe, wasn't it Hudgens that applied and they were turned down for the same type of thing? I thought we weren't closing any more alleys.
Mayor Thompson and Vice Mayor Henry, I don't recall that that happened, but there probably was. It could have been because of the access to the alley. I'm just trying to think why we would have done that. It could have been because of what would the type of utilities that were in the alley. Maybe it couldn't be closed down because it would have restricted the access to the main street. Just thinking of where Hudgens is, that's the only thing I could think of. They're really.
I don't have a problem with it. Yeah. I just want to make sure that we're kosher if we turn somebody down not long ago for wanting to do the same thing, and then we're turning around and doing it for someone else.
Vice Mayor Henry, I didn't see anything in doing the research on it, and I looked through the files. I couldn't see anything that prevented us from recommending approval on it. So at this point.
Okay.
Any questions here? I do remember there was an issue at one time. They wanted to close the alley when Bob was the city manager. I don't remember exactly why it got turned down, but I don't think it had. It was the alley behind where Johnny Reeves is at.
Right.
And I don't remember exactly why it didn't go through, but I don't think it had anything to do with.
Because they tore our house down.
Yeah, there was something.
We denied it pending something, and we never got our pending.
Yeah, but my question is, and there's nobody here in the police department or the fire department that's been here long enough to know if we've ever had any issues with that closed alley regarding fires or any response times or anything.
And Mayor Thompson,
I don't know of any.
We actually ran it through the process with just Minute Track, which is what we do internally. It goes to all the different department heads so they can review it. So if there are issues, they can bring it up at that point so I can look at it when I create the staff report. So nobody raised any concerns with access to that alleyway. And I was thinking back on the Hudgens, there's a irrigation wear box back there, so I imagine maybe that might have been the issue. Because that's where we had all the water issues with the pipes. So that might have been the reason for Hudgens.
And I think some of those irrigation lines run through there that we've got issues with too. So.
Right.
I think there were a multitude of items in there, but none of them have anything like this on this request.
Right.
Mayor, if there's no further questions, I move to approve item 21.
Second.
Okay. There's a motion and a second, Norma.
Okay. Vice Mayor Henry,
Yes.
Councilmember Lewis,
Yes.
Councilmember Murrieta,
Yes.
Councilmember Walker,
Yes.
Councilmember Hudson,
Yes.
Councilmember Huddleston, and Mayor Thompson.
Yeah. Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Item 22, ordinance number 16-10, an ordinance of the mayor and city council of the city of Coolidge, Arizona, rezoning a certain parcel of land from general rural and light industry and warehouse, C11, to general industrial I2, consisting of approximately 1,208 acres, more or less, generally located in sections 4 and 5, Township 6 South, Range 9 East of the Gila and Salt River Basin Meridian, Pinal County, Arizona. Is that you, Gil? Yeah.
Thank you, Mayor, Vice Mayor, council members. In this particular case, if you remember, we annexed the airport into the city, and one of the things that's required by the Arizona revised statutes is that within 6 months of the time we annex a property, we need to convert or apply our city zoning over what was previously there. In my county days, that zoning was general rural. It's still used, and so that property is general rural zoning. And all we're doing is converting it to from general rural and a little amount of C1 and to the I2, which is where airports fall under our zoning code. So all we're doing is bringing this up to date, and all the uses out there are allowed under this new designation, and that way we'll be legal.
I want to commend you, you and Mr. Miller and whoever else is involved in this, because over the last year, we approved a couple of, well, you were on the council, we approved a couple of items that this should have been done 2 years ago, and it finally caught up to us. I don't know how we got caught, but we had to change it and fix it. So I want to thank you guys for catching this one. So who's ever on the council 2 or 3 years from now won't have to do it then. So is there a motion? We didn't do that.
Motion to approve.
Okay, go ahead.
Motion to approve.
Second?
Second.
All right, there's a motion and a second.
Councilmember Huddleston?
Yes.
Councilmember Hudson?
Yes.
Councilmember Walker?
Yes.
Councilmember Murrieta?
Yes.
Councilmember Lewis?
Yes, ma'am.
Vice Mayor Henry?
Yes.
And Mayor Thompson?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Item 23, ordinance number 16-11, an ordinance of the mayor and city council of the city of Coolidge, Arizona, rezoning a certain parcel of land from general rural to agriculture, consisting of approximately 247 acres, more or less, generally located along the Central Arizona Project Canal between the Coolidge Avenue alignment and the Bartlett Road alignment, and legally described as those portions of land in sections 27, 28, and 33, Township 5 South, Range 9 East of the Gila and Salt River Base and Meridian, Pinal County, Arizona. Gilbert?
Mayor, Vice Mayor, council members, this is the same related issue. This is the property to the north that was used. It's a canal. Actually, as it connects to the portion that's the city limits to the north. So this is changing the zoning on this from GR, which I mentioned before, to AG, which is agricultural. So that's the canal for all the irrigation that goes through. So it's the proper zoning to place that canal bank in, and that's how we got to the annexation. So all we're doing is going from GR to AG to bring us into compliance.
Any questions?
Move to approve.
Okay, Liz. Motion and a second. Bob, I think.
Thank you. Okay. Councilmember Murrieta?
Yes.
Councilmember Walker?
Yes.
Councilmember Hudson?
Yes.
Councilmember Huddleston?
Yes.
Councilmember Lewis?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Henry?
Yes.
And Mayor Thompson?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Item 24, resolution number 16-32, a resolution of the city of Coolidge, Arizona, declaring as a public record a certain document filed with the city clerk and entitled Article 2-6 Financial Disclosure of the Code of the city of Coolidge, Arizona, prescribing standards of financial disclosure for local elected officials and amending sections 261 through 264.
Yes, good evening, Mayor and Council. The next 3 items actually all relate to the elections and all the legislative changes that have come forward. The resolution before you is to actually declare the amendments to the financial disclosure statement. As you all know, that is a report that is required to be filed every year by a council member, and it's a report that's required to be filed by any candidate who runs for mayor and council. The amendments, the resolution will declare those amendments as a public records, but the actual next item, the ordinance, if you want, I can explain what the amendments are now, or just wait until we get into the next one. But it's actually the 2 biggest changes are that they created a new category for the financial disclosure statement that now where you have to report travel-related expenses related to your campaign and or just in general. But they're exempt, they're considered as a gift, and they're actually exempt. So it was a little confusing, it's new, but it is a category that it's created. As you know, most of you that fill out that report, some of those categories do not apply. So this might be something that is not required to complete at the time when you submit your report, but if you do have travel-related expenses, then you'll be required to report it. The other change is that you are no longer required to provide the names of your spouse and children. So that'll be omitted as well from the report. So those are the two biggest changes on these two items. The resolution, again, declares it as a public record, and then the ordinance adopts those amendments to our code. And I can answer any questions you have.
Any questions?
Motion to approve.
There's a motion and a second.
Okay.
It's a resolution. Do we?
Yes. Yes. So bear with me because we're going to be.
Okay.
Okay, Councilmember Huddleston?
Yes.
Councilmember Hudson?
Yes.
Councilmember Walker?
Yes.
Councilmember Murrieta?
Yes.
Councilmember Lewis?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Henry?
Yes.
And Mayor Thompson?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Item 25, ordinance number 16-12, an ordinance of the mayor and the city council of the city of Coolidge, Arizona, adopting that certain document known as Article 2-6, financial disclosure of the code of the city of Coolidge, Arizona by reference, repealing it in its entirety, the previously adopted Article 2-6 of the code of the city of Coolidge, and providing severability and the effective date thereof.
Again, if there's any further comments, this is actually.
We're dumping one and replacing
Correct.
it with this.
The resolution adopts again as a public record, and then the ordinance actually adopts the amendments.
And this was brought on based by by the legislature.
That is correct. It was House
Anything we
Bill 2429, I think is what I posted. There's so many of them. Yes, 2429, and it's all legislative changes, and those changes become effective January 1st of 2017.
Okay.
Move to approve item 25.
Second.
Okay. Councilmember Walker?
Yes.
Councilmember Hudson?
Yes.
Councilmember Huddleston?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Henry?
Yes.
Councilmember Lewis?
Yes.
Councilmember Murrieta?
Yes.
And Mayor Thompson?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Item 26, ordinance number 16-13, an ordinance of the mayor and city council of the city of Coolidge, Arizona, amending section 2-3-1 of the Coolidge City Code to change the basis for calculation of a majority of votes cast at the primary election and providing for severability and the effective date thereof.
Yes, Honorable Mayor and Council. Again, the ordinance before you is actually amending our city code. As you all recall, back in 2013, when the elections were consolidated to the fall, with the presidential, we had to adopt or place in our city code an alternative method to calculate the majority of votes to declare a candidate elected. And it seems that in 2015, that change, that amendment, basically went, the legislative approved that the same calculation be used city and townwide. So it just wasn't caught back in 2015, but we did use that same calculation method in this last election based on legislative requirements or statute. So this is basically just cleaning up our city code, making sure we're in compliance, and again, it's the same calculation that we used at the last election and will continue until a future amendment is made. So it's cleaning our city code and bringing us up to date. So I can answer any questions you may have.
Move to approve.
Second.
Okay. All right. Vice Mayor Henry?
Yes.
Councilmember Lewis?
Yes.
Councilmember Murrieta?
Yes.
Councilmember Walker?
Yes.
Councilmember Hudson?
Yes.
Councilmember Huddleston?
Yes.
And Mayor Thompson?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Item 27, consider approval of accepting the letter of resignation submitted by Councilmember Gary Lewis and authorizing staff to begin the process to fill the vacancy for the unexpired term.
Motion to table item 27.
Second.
Okay. Well, I guess we vote then, huh? Is there any reason why, on these, we call for a table? Is there?
I just spoke with Dennis, and we're going to table it for now due to, once it's voted yes, I cannot rescind it, and there's a possibility that may occur in the next few days. So I'm tabling it until further notice.
And I think, Mr. Mayor, members of council, it's Councilmember Lewis's letter of resignation, so I think it could either be tabled tonight, or he could just withdraw his letter. So however he wants to proceed. We talked prior to the meeting, we thought it was easiest to table it.
Okay, all right. Well, good. All right, so we need a motion and a second. We did that? Oh, that's right, you're pretty quick. All right. All right, then, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, it's tabled. Report from the mayor, council, and/or city manager. Do you have anything, Jimmy?
No, just pleased to be here. I look forward to working with everybody in the city. Again, I'd like to thank Danny, for, I don't know, I'm sorry, what was your name? Michelle, I'm sorry. I don't know Michelle, I know Danny, and I know he's been doing this for years, and I appreciate everything all of you guys are doing. Thank you.
I have nothing to add.
Tatiana?
Nope, thank you to Danny, Michelle, and Rhonda.
Councilmember Lewis?
Yes, I attended the light parade Friday. Actually, my first light parade I was able to attend. It just happened to not be working for the first time in forever. Not a bad parade, good turnout by some local businesses. They put a lot of effort into their floats, the lights. The city staff did a good job closing down the roads and keeping everybody corralled into the San Carlos Park area. I don't believe there was any incidents with traffic. Looked smooth. Ran into Vice Mayor there. I think that was it as far as the council that I saw there. I would like to thank Danny and Michelle for Relay for Life. Just like Jimmy said, I don't know Michelle, but I know Danny for a long time, and I know we both lost a close friend to cancer, and that's part of the reason why he does what he does, I'm sure. So I appreciate the effort that everybody puts in to Relay for Life. I'm interested to see how it's going to work with Florence and Coolidge doing it together for the first time. Probably a big crowd, because I know each group individually has a pretty big turnout. Do we know if it's going to be, what city it's going to be held in?
It's going to be in
Coolidge. Just okay. Awesome. And I know we didn't get to item 27 as far as me, my resignation is. There's a good chance it is going to happen either way. I wanted to table it because I have something working right now. But as this is probably going to be my last meeting, I do want to say that I have appreciated and enjoyed working with everybody up here. We don't see eye to eye all the time, which if we did, then that would be a problem. It's good that we have individual minds that can work collaboratively and come up with what's best for the city. I do want to stress that no matter what everyone's personal agenda or items are, doing what's best for the citizens and the voice of the citizens needs to be at the top of the list always. And we're almost there. I don't think it's been something 100%, but we're getting better. So, you know, I'll say more later. I'll write a letter, I'm sure, but I do thank everybody. It's been great working. Seeing Rick Miller become our city manager, there was things I wanted to see done when I came on, and with the current management, we just weren't working towards that. I mean, Rick's pretty much accomplished everything that I wanted to see in the few months he's been here. You know, more efficiency with our energy and cost, employee salaries. You know, he's consolidating some roles in our city and making a financially sound and more efficient city. So I'm glad I got to see that, and I think Mayor Thompson's doing a fantastic job, and I enjoyed working alongside him as well, even though he doesn't like when I talk a lot, but he'll miss that, I'm sure. But that's it. So I just hope everybody, you know, keeps doing the right thing, pushing forward, and I may not be here full time, but I'll be watching, and my mouth still opens. So.
I don't know if that's a threat or a promise, maybe both. But
it's more of a promise.
I attended the Artisan Village Christmas, let's see, what was that, on the 5th? It was a pretty good turnout. It was really nice. And the light parade, and I'd like to welcome Councilmember Walker.
Thank
I'd like to thank Relay for Life, and I'd like to thank the ones that voted for me for Vice Mayor again.
Mr. Mayor, members of the council, just a couple of items from your weekly memo, just to kind of report on and share a few things that are not on here that you might want to consider. Our fire department is having a firefighters awards dinner on the 19th at the adult center at 6 p.m. If you'd like to consider attending that, I'm sure that the fire department would like to see you there if you can make that. There will be no meeting of our Coolidge Youth Coalition as indicated on our weekly memo on Tuesday the 20th. Because of the holidays, they've elected not to have that meeting. We are having a volunteer recognition dinner. I'm sorry, a voluntary recognition, not a dinner, at the Adult Center for the volunteers that work so hard on behalf of the city at the Adult Center on Friday the 30th. And we can get some more information to you on that. Ricky, what was the time of that? 11 to 1. So if you'd like to go and say thank you to some volunteers that are much appreciated, that'd be great. Our monthly fly-in, this last fly-in was excellent. We had great attendance, some terrific aircraft. It was the same day as our Christmas in the Village on the 4th. It was a spectacular air show out there. Jeff Bourbon was out there flying his acrobatic plane, doing things that planes aren't supposed to do. But it was amazing to see that, and we just seeing a lot of improvements at our airport. And we're excited about the things that are going to happen out there. Lastly, we attended the Pinal Partnership Breakfast, listened to Elliot Pollock give his basically forecast for the economic forecast for the state of Arizona, Pinal County. Looks like things are going to be much brighter, not quite the pace that we saw during the big boom, previously, but a better pace, better news. And by all indications, the news that you're reading about in the local papers with the industrial projects that are being they're coming up out of the ground with the Phoenix Mart and then the Lucid Motors deal, several other projects that could make this a very good year for Coolidge and the greater Casa Grande Valley area. So we're going to continue to promote Coolidge as a place to that Coolidge is the business of America is business. That's one of Calvin Coolidge's quotes, and we're in a great position, I think, to capitalize on some good economic development activity with Gilbert Lopez here and Lynn Parsons and all the people that are participating in our efforts. Tim Knavel, we met with him today at Pinal County. He wants to be sure and help in any way he can from the county standpoint to help Coolidge in our economic development efforts. So that's my report. Thank you, Mayor.
I just forgot to say, I wanted to wish everyone a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Okay, yeah. Thanks, Rick. Well, I attended a lot of the same meetings that Mr. Miller and Mr. Lopez did, and Coolidge got a pretty good recognition at the 12% grant luncheon with the Salt and Gila River tribes. They've given us quite a bit of grant money, and it helped us with the library, and it's helped us with the body cams for our police officers in the last 2 years. That's what we received, and they were very receptive, and they spoke very highly of Coolidge. Even there were a lot of big cities in the House, they singled us out and did a couple of Go Bears for us even. So we're in pretty good shape there. It was a guy from Casa Grande, as a matter of fact, that led the charge. He's the vice president of a Salt River Reservation. So, we attended that. I've been to a couple of Christmas concerts, different schools, the Pinal Alliance, and the fly-in, and the office days have been very productive. We're starting to see people coming in that want to do business in Coolidge. And they're now coming in to see us instead of us calling them. So it's starting to turn around. I would be remiss if I didn't thank the people up here. I'm going to echo Councilmember Lewis's comments. This is a good council. Over the years, well, the last 2 years for this council,
while everybody hasn't agreed on every item, I think these last 2 years, we've seen more progress in Coolidge than we've seen in a long time. You look at our streets, you look at some of the changes in the attitudes of our employees. I think things are moving pretty well in this community. We're starting to see businesses come to us instead of us chasing them. And some of the other cities are coming in now and wanting to work with us instead of acting like we don't exist. So I think things are going well. I want to thank them all personally. I think we have a lot of qualified people up here, and any one of them could do my job or do the vice mayor's job. So I just wanted to say that and wish everybody here and in Coolidge Merry Christmas, and I really expect a very good 2017. So in saying that, I would look for a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Thank you. Second.
Mayor, we do have an executive session, but we can call it together after you adjourn this meeting.
We get to kick you all out and we stay.
5 minutes or whatever it takes. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
I can't say anything.
Well, then we're adjourned, I guess.